Hey there, just wanted to upload a video to show you a tuner install on my Larrivee L04. The Gotoh 510 tuners, in my opinion, are some of the best tuners out there on the market. Rock solid, have a really nice gear ratio, 21:1. Um, Standard Larrivee tuners, I mean, uh, they're great tuners. Personally, I just don't like the look of them. I find them a bit too big. The gear ratio is slightly less, but for what I do, um, obviously tuning is important, but nothing wrong with the tuner. So it's more of a cosmetic upgrade. That's what I'm getting at. Anyways, I've capoed the strings off. I want to reuse these strings. Just got to size things out later. Uh, Take the strings off, removing the set screw. Now this set screw is on pretty much a 45-degree angle from the center of the tuner. So when you make a purchase, obviously make sure you're getting the right tuners. A couple standard things you need would just be like a regular wrench, a screwdriver with a bit that's going to fit the set screw. Set screw is quite small. Sometimes those little like jewelers screwdrivers, they would work. I found that some of my set screws were pretty hard in there, so I had to revert to that orange screwdriver that you can see there. And with the Phillips screw head, it was fine. I'm just kind of comparing the look of the old tuners with the new ones, making sure that it's an upgrade that I want to do. Just checking them out. First time that I've had them off the guitar, and you can see the size of the button there. Um, the 510s, the Gotoh 510s, are bang on as far as the look that I was going to. This is in the antique gold finish, and I think it just complements the guitar beautifully. Just kind of pointing out that these tuners are on a 45-degree angle as far as where the set screw is, and for some reason there's some sort of a clear coat that had chipped up there. I was just brushing that off. So obviously just dry fitting things, make sure everything would fit properly before I begin to screw anything in at this point. So there you can see that orange screwdriver from Home Depot, just not fully tightening the set screw at this point, but just placing it in so the tuner can actually just hold its position, making sure everything lines up. And these were just drop-in tuners, right? Didn't have to do any drilling. On some tailored guitars in the past, when I've installed the 510s, I've had to drill just ever so slightly into the body and do my best to line things up. Main thing here is that you don't want to over tighten. I think that's the only thing that could really go wrong, or your hand slips or something like that, and your wrench goes across the headstock of your guitar. Little signature maybe on there, but yeah, just be gentle, steady hand, and everything's good. One thing I usually do is add a little bit of wax to the screws, especially on you know, neck plates or something along those lines. A slightly bigger screw, like 1 3/4 inch fender screw, for example. These are tiny screws, but I was having a bit of resistance with that one tuner there. The second I added just the slightest little bit of candle wax on there, just went in really, really nicely. Just finishing up here, not over tightening, just making sure they're snug. And I think I had tightened those ones already, but just double checking. Really didn't want to have to go back and redo that later. One thing I started to notice was the height of the posts much lower than I expected. And when I was going to put the string in, I'm like, wait a second, is there enough post here for me to even put the string on? And what I decided to do, and this is one of the reasons that I kept the old strings on, was I wasn't sure how much string was actually needed. Um, I want to have at least a couple wraps around the post, and I'll change these strings this weekend. But just stringing things up. Usually, what you do is you take the string to the, like for example, in this situation, I'm stringing the low E. I'd take it to the A, and then halfway to the D. And what I'm illustrating here is just that I am having to snip that back. So I'm just going one post length in distance and removing the, I don't know if you can see on the guitar case or not, but just ever so slightly, just a bit of what I normally use, like on my Taylor or Martin guitars. Anyways, needed enough there to ensure that the string wouldn't slip once I started the wind, and was able to get a couple winds around that much lower post height, and kind of dig in the look of that now. Very clean line. You'll see a picture towards the end of the video. Okay, obviously the A string going in next. At this point, feeling pretty good about the tuners. Like the look of them, and happy that I'm not putting a fresh set of strings on at this point. Still want to give it a good test to see if anything's going to slip. Just studying, again, analyzing, is that enough string wrapped around the actual post? Okay, next string going in. Still a little bit at that point concerned that, do I have the right angle? Do I have enough string wrapped around? Proceeded with the bottom three strings there. And obviously as the string gets thinner, more wraps can go around these lower height posts. But they went on well. Okay, a couple pictures of the finished product. Beautiful, in my opinion. Look at that. 1 to 21 gear ratio. What did I say at the start? 21 to 1? Yeah. Really nice look. Complements the guitar. I think this final picture you can actually see how many wraps. So that low E and the A, my only concerns. Other than that, you got about 2 wraps, 2+ wraps on the posts. Okay, thanks. Hopefully this has inspired you to maybe do a little mod to your guitar. If you have any questions, please ask. Thanks.